That wasn't that bad, Ian. Welcome to the 100th episode of the CU podcast. Woo! Fireworks happening around me. I'll try to edit that in alongside Ian Ferguson.
Hi. I feel like I survived a casket match.
I'm Pat Contry. Ian once again ad-libbing where he shouldn't be because it's a CU podcast and we've reached 100 episodes. Thanks so much for tagging along with us. We started August 2013. 3.5 years, almost 4. Wow, we've grown old in the tooth. As
it is 4. Yeah, almost 4. Shit.
In this podcast, we'll be talking about Wonder Woman. We'll be talking about Coleco versus the World. We'll be talking about a limited edition Nintendo Switch console coming out. We'll be talking about Q&A, relabeling games as well. Ian, what's going on? You missed the last podcast. I missed you at 99. You couldn't miss 100, though.
No, I was not going to miss 100, and to make sure I'm not going to miss 100, I'm high. But, you know, I had to. Yeah, I missed the last podcast. The pain's been pretty bad lately, but this is going to be a lot of fun. So
we got to thank John and Mike of CFOs for creating that awesome new theme song.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Above and beyond.
A bit of a dream come true, perhaps.
John and Mike do work for WWE and NXT, which are wrestling federations there. And unbelievable. They're fans of the podcast. It'll be out on iTunes eventually. There's a couple versions, including the instrumental, which will be like the version like with the theme song comes over. I mean, the closing credits, like when you watch the end of G.I. Joe and they just do the non-word version, you know? That's an instrumental.
So, yeah, that's a lot of fun. Other than that, I've just been focusing on recovering and playing games, seeing some movies.
Did you think we'd ever make 100 podcast episodes, honestly?
No, I didn't.
You think it lasts like a year?
Well, I mean, originally, you know, we've discussed this before. I didn't honestly think it would make it past just us screwing around a few times. I figured 3 years, and then, like, holy shit, here we are, 4. Not because we'd get necessarily sick of it or we'd argue, but we'd just get to a point where things in our life became more important. But
what's more important than us here?
Well, no, I think the secret to it is that we've done it every 2 weeks and we've never strayed from that, at least for now. And
well, here and there we skipped a week because we had obligations or doubled up. We'll have to double up maybe in a week and a half before I go to an event, but you know, for the most part, like clockwork, 26 a year.
Right.
For 3.5 years. And a lot of it, I think, in terms of content creation in general, is just how often are you doing it and are you sticking up with it? What's the consistency look like?
Right. And
one of the reasons, I have to remind you why we even did the podcast in the first place was because of a certain NES guidebook. Yes, he gets it in early. Remember, I wanted people to know who the hell you were when you were working on the book. That was one of the reasons why. I didn't want people to be like, who the frick is Ian Ferguson? No. But anyway, but now people know who you are.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, okay. That's one of the reasons. So we already have a debate early on. That was one of the reasons. Because we weren't making money off of it, that's for sure. But it was a time when I was still reeling from my awful day job, which you knew about at the time, that I quit 5 years ago, and that was killing me. I remember one time you said to me I looked like I was gray. I'll never forget that. He said, Pat, you look like you're gray, like literally my skin tone and how I was. Like I was working not just a lot of hours, just very, very stressful.
You had the complexion of unflavored cream of wheat.
Okay. Half the flavor.
Half the flavor. None of the fun.
I used to always eat cream of wheat as a kid. That's why I was chubby. Anyway, not the most healthy stuff in the world. But we persevered. We got through some times. We've had some moments of clarity. We've brought some entertainment to the world. We've had people angry at us, other YouTubers at times, other people in the video game industry.
Moments where people are angry at us? I'm pretty sure people have been angry at me the whole time.
Well, you were always one to say, Pat, they don't, they're fine with you, but they like me. Nope, they don't like me either. Some people.
That's true. Some people don't like you either.
But we'll see where this train ride ends. But we just got a new theme. We have a new logo. While I have you all here, this will be on YouTube, 10% off podcast, buttons, and t-shirts, and a certain NES guidebook. Go to ultimatenes.com and get 10% off with code CUPodcast.
Buy my buttons. I made them all with love. Actually, Vonnie made a lot of those buttons because I was really sick at the time. she made them during this time period.
And we're going to have a special Patreon question and answer call-in. We'll do that later when that's going later. But thanks everyone on YouTube. Also, without YouTube, you guys wouldn't have helped us get to where we're at, because at first, no one listens to a podcast. They're not aware it exists. But there is a podcast you can subscribe to. Pat, why is the news so late? You guys are getting old news out there. Well, we cut this up. And we're going to do it for at least 1 or 2 more episodes. We'll see where it goes.